Welcome back. Episode 16
Yes.
of the YTG podcast.
Welcome.
We've got some very special guests with us today who we're going to introduce in just a moment. But first, the announcement you have all been waiting for. Cars and Coffee is back.
Yes. Finally.
Date is confirmed, 7th of May, 8 a.m. We are opening the gates. We've had messages, we've had calls. We're not letting anyone in earlier.
Yeah, no.
8 a.m.
No, 8 a.m. And, it's going to be designated parking. At this stage, if we gave everyone the preferred parking, we'd need stackers. So it's not going to work. So please don't think, as you know what I'm about, please don't think if you turn up in your fucking supercar, you're going to get front row, because that ain't going to work.
Yeah, look, we're not trying to hate on anyone. We're not trying to upset people. It's just like there's so many people.
Fucking turn up.
Yeah, so there is a there is a 7-Eleven down the road. We've been asked.
No.
Designated.
Harvey Norman, I've spoken to Harvey Norman. They got the fucking fridges outside, and all you fucking electric car people can go there. So, yeah.
It's going to be awesome. So, Mr. Craftsman is our resident cafe. They will
fantastic.
be open for us again.
Breakfast,
they are wicked.
do grouse fucking food.
They are
You can go
awesome.
and hang out there, have coffee.
Such a bougie cafe
it's really cool.
for an industrial estate.
Yeah, we were blessed.
They're
That's
awesome, and
actually
they're
good
gonna have an extra coffee cart as well
Yes.
at both ends. So we're gonna have coffee flowing everywhere.
Yeah.
And we've got a whole bunch of other vendors, suppliers, people that are coming.
Anyone
along.
who's come in the past, you've seen that it's not. We try to get a bit of other variety here. So we've got Evan with the golf clothing. We'll actually have a bit of merchandise. A lot of people have been asking for the YTG clothing, and so we'll have tees, hoodies, caps, and we've also got the Benzina Stable boys from the storage. They're going to be here. We've also got a couple of detailing guys doing it. So, and of course a real grouse diversity of cars. So, looking forward to it. We it's been long in the waiting. A lot of people have been asking. So, looking forward to hopefully seeing you there. Definitely.
It's going to be awesome. So that's 7th of May, Sunday the 7th of May.
7th of May.
8 a.m.
Now, yes, people are saying Motor X is on that weekend. Very true. Motor X is not on for 2 hours. It's on for fucking 3 days. So you can go Saturday, and like most people are going after here, like I am, after the show. So you've got plenty of time to go to Motor X.
Yep, come here for breakfast, then go to Motor X.
Correct. So, look forward to seeing you. And we're doing live podcast.
Yes, I nearly forgot. So we're going to move these. We're going to move these chairs
on the day. On the day.
Yep.
And that'll be downstairs. So we'd like to get you on, have a bit of a chat, and talk about cars, talk about everything that we all like, and talk about some of the cars that are outside and stuff like that. So bring your pride and joy. Furry friends are welcome, and want a good harmony of good car lovers. That's enough for us. Now we've got our two beautiful special guests.
Yes.
Which we're dying to let them now talk.
Yep, awesome. So we'll move on to our special guests. So we have next to me Jess and Ree. These lovely girls are from Racing With Autism. They are the people that turn the cogs and make everything function. So can you please introduce us to Racing With Autism, who you are, what you do?
Sure.
And then we can move into background and all those lovely things.
Absolutely. So we're from Racing With Autism Australia, which we started almost 3 years ago now. And the whole idea was for us to maybe support 3, maybe 5 people on the spectrum that are involved in racing, in motorsport or just racing in general. I was kind of more thinking like go-karts or speedway or something like that, but now we've got like BMXs and all sorts of things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so not just motor power, like pedal power now too. So that was never the plan. It was never the plan. It was to keep, like this little small idea that I had. And basically it all came from in 2014, I won a scholarship. And in that scholarship, it was basically find your own job and move overseas and just go and do that job overseas.
Right.
And I... probably 3 months before that, actually found Racing With Autism, the original Racing With Autism on Facebook.
Okay.
And I'd spent my whole career working with people on the spectrum. That's my thing. That's my niche. So, and I've also spent many, many years actually racing myself. So.
Oh, what do you race?
Or just
raced?
Dirt carts.
Oh,
yeah, so
like the
speedway.
Yakar things?
No, like on a speedway that like sprint cars race on.
Uh-huh.
Like Maddox Gibbs's Formula 500.
Yep.
So on the same track as him, but in a go-kart, more or less.
that's hectic.
So I'd been like involved in speedway my whole life, and then started racing and all those sort of things. So racing, autism, the
awesome.
combination is like for me
grouse.
just the best thing ever. So just before I won my scholarship, I found the original Racing with Autism on Facebook and started following Austin Riley's story. I was like, yeah, that's cool. And Rhiannon's my best friend, so like she's kind of been on the whole ride with me from the start. It was actually on her birthday that I found out that I won the scholarship. So and so what I did was they rang me and said, "Hey, you've actually won this scholarship," and I hung up on them because I was like, "Oh hell, I'm not actually moving to another country." Like,
can't have sleepovers at other people's houses. Moving country.
I wasn't going anywhere, and then I messaged Racing with Autism on Facebook, and Austin's dad, Jason, replied to me. And I just said, this is me, this is who I am, this is what's happening at the moment. Would you know of any jobs? With like the biggest hint ever, I want to come and work with you guys. And he said, I'll contact Austin's school, see if anything's going on. 45 minutes later, he replied and was like, do you want to come and work with Austin as like his personal assistant? I was like, yes, I do. And it wasn't long after that, like it was all booked and I was on my way. So original plan was to kind of head over for 9 months and work with Austin at the school as his like personal teacher assistant and all those sorts of things. And 9 months turned into 16 months. And in that time, we travelled like 30,000 kilometres of North America from racetrack to racetrack, and
so cool.
All in 96 days.
Oh, so full on.
Yeah, full on, but amazing. Awesome. There was me and 5 blokes that lived in this RV trailer. And we had...
from track to track.
Austin was in go-karts then, so we're just track to track, school to school, doing like autism awareness presentations by sharing Austin's story. So... Austin was a 14-year-old kid who wouldn't even speak in his own classroom of like 10 kids. And, you know, his teacher would say, oh, you won't get him to do that word search. I was like, why? And then I looked at the word search and they wanted him to find like names of flowers. I'm like, well, that's not going to work. So I went home and created him this word search that had like Lamborghini, McLaren, all that sort of stuff, like something that he related to. You said to Austin, what's 3 plus 3? Oh, I don't know. All right. So if I brought 3 Ferraris and then I brought 3 McLarens, how many cars would I have? 6. But what ones are you going to buy? You know, like, so could talk about that for days.
Yeah.
But so that's how it all started, that whole journey. Then I came home and went back again. And then I came home.
How long were you there for?
16 months in the
total,
big period.
Or no, in between?
For the big period, I was there for 16 months. And then...
This is in Canada?
This is in Canada.
Yeah. Montreal or Quebec or no?
Toronto.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great city.
But actually, like, travelled from coast to coast, racetracks, all that sort of
North
cool
America
stuff.
too, or just only in
North
Canada?
America too.
Yeah.
So have been to Laguna Seca.
You have to talk about that story. This is fucking awesome, mate. About the track with the imbecile that flew with the helicopter and his old man, Formula One. But
I'll tell that story.
Wait, this is epic, and it just goes to show you why Formula One has turned to the dogs.
So that was actually the track in Quebec, so still in Canada, at a place called Mount Tremblant. That's how they say it. You heard of Mount Tremblant?
Yeah, the ski resort.
Yeah. Yep. So like rich kart races there everywhere. And here's Austin. And when I first met them, like I've come from dirt track racing, lots and lots of dollars, but dirt track racing in Tassie. Like half the time my kart went on the back of like a ute or in a van. Right. And, or, you know, there's trailers there and there's trucks, but I rock up to this like asphalt karting and Austin has it was like 32-foot trailer and I was like, with living quarters. Like, this is sick. Like, this is wicked.
Yeah.
We rock up to tracks and there's like semi-trailers and there's...
For go-karting.
Full
for go-karting.
stuff.
Oh
like
my
full,
God.
massive big tents. Like,
Typical
unbelievable.
Yanks.
Like, I'm like,
Canadians.
I thought I was rolling up like in something pretty
Gangster.
sweet here.
Wow.
Yeah, anyway. And it took me a while to sort of figure things out, but there was some pretty loaded kids racing against Austin. Like, loaded. Like, their parents were... millionaires. We're at Mount Tremblant and this helicopter rocks up, right? Out gets this kid, jumps in his cart and races.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was Nicholas Latifi.
Really?
Yeah, man.
And funniest thing about that, Austin smoked his ass
Yeah.
like the whole
Wow.
time. Yeah.
Smoked him,
Yeah.
mate. But
Fucking
because Daddy's got
Latifi,
the plenty...
man.
Oh, fuck, it don't even start. Because of that fucking arsehole Abu Dhabi, you fucking... Yeah, fucking... Anyway.
And then Austin would like come back and he'd be in the trailer and he'd be like, cut my lunch. Because that's what Austin was like. Couldn't cut his own lunch. Couldn't use a knife and fork. Dude, you just went out there and schooled everyone.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
And you can't cut your lunch. I would like his race boots, tie his shoelaces, check his helmet was done up right. He would spend his whole day in a race suit and everything just because of the compression of it. All right, so Austin is the inspiration, the whole journey behind why we sit here right now. Like he is. So at that point, before I got there, he was a 3-time North American go-karting champion. And then he just went up and up and up. So he went into Micras. They have like a Nissan Micra Cup over there, which is really cool. And then he went into Radicals.
Radicals, yeah.
And so he won the Canadian Radical Cup.
Yeah.
And then last year won the North American
Come on, man.
Radical
That's pretty
Cup.
serious.
That's pretty
Yeah.
Come on, man.
hectic.
Yeah.
North
so-
American.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Canadians even awesome, but North American.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's proper.
Yeah. And this is, I call him a kid still, he's not a kid anymore, that will send me a message and say something along the lines of like, hi. Yeah, hey mate, what's up? Nothing. Yeah. And then good. Yeah. Yeah. And or, we would go to Tim Hortons, which is like the best
Love
coffee.
Tim Hortons.
Tim Hortons. I'd love an ice cap.
Yeah.
Like Tim Hortons is the bomb, and you'd go there and Austin would just crave a Nutella donut, but he wouldn't walk up and get that Nutella donut. And we go to a racetrack, he stands on the podium and holds a trophy up and you just look at it and go, really? Like, it is crazy. And there was, just before I left for the big period, he raced at the Canadian Karting Championships in DD2, which is a 2-gear shifter kart.
Right.
He'd had 2 practice sessions like a couple of weeks before, maybe 1 race. He was like really new in that. And he came 3rd, which was like insane. And I was like sobbing, And he come off the track and gave me a big hug. He goes, "That's for you." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, mate." 35 minutes before that, he's having a mass meltdown.
Yeah.
We didn't even know if we were going to get him on track.
Yeah.
I've got him under blankets, like compression therapy, like just insane. And the thing that would always turn Austin around was music. So I like kick everyone out of the trailer, turn a song on that I knew could like turn him around, and we'd have like the trailer like rocking because we'd be like dancing. There's a video that his dad did about that whole scenario where his dad Jason just looked at me. He's like, "I don't know if we're getting this kid on track."
Yeah,
he'll get on track.
His space that was his vibe.
Yeah. So that's it. And obviously, I'm pretty passionate still about what Austin does. Like he's it's
amazing. It's just unbelievable.
And
some people really fathom what this young man has
23 this year.
Achieved.
Yeah, he's
still a lot of people don't understand children or people on the spectrum. They don't.
No.
And as people know, I mean, my daughter's on the spectrum, and so I firsthand understand it. And people not sure about the meltdowns, and that's what sometimes happens. Some are different and more severe than others, and as a parent or as a carer, it's fucking hard, mate. And it's just, it's unless you've experienced it, you don't know how to cope with it. So for you to be able to go as a carer, it's a safe space for him to be with you, and which is again it's just fucking, a lot of people can't do it, man.
No.
They don't understand it.
It was literally that whole time too that Austin and I, the whole period I was there, we were joined at the hips.
Yeah.
Like I miss him so much. I had 14 nights away from him.
Yeah.
And most of the chunk of that was in the end because we had to transition him away from like relying on me so much to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
But if he needs something now.
Yeah. On the phone. Yeah.
On the phone. You know, I was on my way to work the other morning and he's brought himself a car. Like he's got a job. Like it's just so good.
Cool.
And he pretty much drives for like a menu log, right? But that's so cool because he just drives around.
Yeah, cool.
And the last time that I got to go back to Canada before I had my son, we like pull up at the house and stuff, and Jason, Austin's dad, who's just like my dad, he's like, oh, you guys drive to Mandarin. It's like the all-you-can-eat Chinese place. It's so good.
Yeah.
He's like, guys can drive to Mandarin. I'm like, nah, Jay, I haven't been here for a few months. Like, I'll end up on the wrong side of the road. Like, he goes, no, Austin can drive. I was like, whew, okay. So he had his license and stuff.
Yeah.
His dad pretty much had like a brand new Camaro.
Yeah.
He rolls out. I'm like, we're not driving that though, are we? And Austin's like, yeah, we are. And he was placid as anything. We were driving there. I was like, just had tears. And he's like, stop crying. You can stop crying now. Like, just so proud.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It was so cool. Yeah. And now he's just brought like a Subaru FRZi, something like that. Yeah, which is... he was getting around in this little Nissan Micra that he had all souped up and all this sort of stuff. And anyway, he rang me to tell me all about it. And I said, so, you know, you've got payments on that? Like, you have to, yes, I know. Like, but he'll bring me in. Normally he comes to me for, like, the girlfriend advice or... You know, there's times where he's had a few girlfriends on the go and all that sort of stuff. You know. So anyway, Austin's cool. Austin's Austin, and he's a good egg. And it's actually been 5 years since I've seen him. So
has it been that long?
Yeah, because of COVID.
Sure, of course,
and all that sort of stuff. And
has he come out here to Australia?
He's been here twice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he came. I came home at the end of 2015, and he came in like the January, February, and we raced against each other on dirt.
That's
2006.
cool.
I smoked him,
yeah,
and that was really cool. He hated it, like didn't speak to me for ages because I raced tarmac over there, and you know he taught me so much. And then we got over here, and one of our friends put him in a dirt cart so we could race against each other.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was really good, and we spent 8 weeks here with Austin, and Austin and I went on a bit of a road trip. So I won my scholarship through winning a training award for like my traineeships to get to. Yeah, so was like really connected with, it's called the VET Alumni, which is vocational education and training. So basically an Australian apprenticeship ambassador, and I have been since.
Yep.
So they hosted us to go and talk about my journey from winning trainee of the year to ending up with a scholarship, ending up with Austin, doing all those sort of things. So we went to Canberra and spoke in this massive hall of people, and it's on YouTube.
But you should tell what they... I mean, we've been blessed to know what you do, obviously, we've got to know you, but a lot of people watch this. I mean, you've achieved some fucking amazing things. I mean, just tell them what those accolades you've done. I mean, because you've worked hard and people have recognised what you've been able to do, which a lot of people can't do. So just so let them know the awards that you've won.
Okay.
Toot your own horn.
How long do you have?
Yeah.
No, toot the horn as loud as you want to because you're an amazing person that's done fucking some amazing things.
So I guess in grade 10 and 11, I won the State National Defence Force Award for Leadership.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a kickstart.
Yeah.
I was that kid that was at school that was like school captain and all those sort of things, but I'm not intelligent. Like I'm not smart. I'm smart at what I want to be smart at.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's
intelligent. Like I didn't.
That's intelligent.
Yeah, but not like
you
if you ask me 7 times 7.
Yeah, not book smart.
Yeah, but no, but hang on. You're intelligent about what you're passionate and what you need to be intelligent about. Who gives a shit about what 7 times 7 is?
Yeah.
You've got fucking calculators. I mean, like, it doesn't matter. That's, to me, no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so I'm super intelligent.
Fucking oath you are.
And so, you know, grade 10, there's like 12 awards and I win like 10 of them. I hate it. Anyway, and then National Defence Force Award for Leadership twice. And then in 2009, I won Tasmanian Student of the Year. Went straight into my career working with people with disabilities. At 17 was like 2IC at a school for children with autism, and then went to my old high school and started the student support program there, and that's when I won Trainee of the Year, and then I won the Australian Overseas Foundation Scholarship, and then Tasmanian Young Achiever of the Year. A few national public speaking awards. Looking at Rhiannon because it's like, there's a bit.
There's enough. There's huge.
Yeah.
Well done. It's
Thanks.
good. People need to know that. That's you know what I mean, and that's
awesome.
I mean, it just I mean, I didn't even know any of that when I first met you, and I just thought you were awesome, and what you're doing is awesome, and then just to know those as I got to know you, I was like, fuck man, what an absolute bonus of what a role model. what you do. So it's awesome. And I'm very privileged and very grateful that we're able to get involved. And Racing with Autism Australia is now our main focus. We're not supporting any other charities. It is our main focus. That's all we're getting behind. I'm going to do whatever we can to get as much exposure for them, for the amazing work that they do, and for the amazing opportunities that it gives to children, kids, young adults in all forms of motorsport. V8 supercars have been really awesome. I'm very, very grateful to both Shane and Adrian for their really kind generosity of not charging anything and letting you guys have a space. You know, we were just looking for maybe 4 or 5 or 6, and then they've been kind enough to make sure that whatever the whole team can get to, there's no fees, nothing like that, which, you know, is a small token of their wanting to get behind it, which is awesome. You know, they're grateful for you having there for what you do, and we're going to get more. And we're going to get more people on, and the people that know me and know my situation, that's why you know, for me to see these kids, that's what we got behind Maddox. It's fantastic, and more people need to get behind it. It's really simple. So for us, that's our main focus. We're not focusing on anything else, and you've got as much support as we can possibly give you and more, and hopefully it grows and grows and grows and gets more people involved. Sadly, because we need more money to help the kids. It's really fucking that simple.
Yeah, it's kind of gone exceeded every expectation too. So when I came back the last time, I had my son who was born with some health issues, and I found myself kind of just going about day-to-day life with no oomph about me anymore. I was just very
human.
Yeah, and what is it that makes me really passionate, makes me really excited? And it was, I spoke to Austin Jason's dad, and he's like, "You're flat, Nessa." He called me Nessa, just and he said, "You're really flat, Nessa, well, you got to do something." And I said, well, maybe I could find a couple of kids here that I could go to a racetrack with, there'd be some about, surely. So I put a post on my own Facebook, on my own social media, and there was connections there already. And then we started the Racing with Autism Australia Facebook page, and my idea of 3 or 5. So what do we sit now, nearly 3 years later, and I think we introduced our 47th.
Yeah, it's
2 years ago.
Awesome,
so yeah,
honestly,
and
it's such a credit to you both, of what you've been able to do, the people involved. Honestly, it's awesome. It's just honestly, well done to you both. Honestly, seriously.
Thanks, Sean. Yeah.
Honestly.
There's been times where I've gone I'm not giving all these people what they need. There's actually some of our supported races that I might talk to every 3 months. There's some that I talk to every single day. There's people that some really want that full-on involvement, or they'll just send me an email and say, "Jess, we're really struggling with this at the moment. What's your advice?" And that's all they want. All we
Is the children themselves or the families?
Both, because it's our eldest supported racer is in his late 40s.
Yeah.
Our youngest supported racer would be 8 now.
Yeah.
So it's it varies. And because at the end of the day, one of our racers says all the time, once you turn into an adult, you don't just become unautistic anymore.
Correct.
Yep. That's your life. Correct. And so many of those have actually found racing later in life. And we've got iRaces.
Yeah.
We've got...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, brother. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's not just moto. It's if it's
everything.
like BMX, it's anything that can harness and just they find their juice. You know what I mean? And
awesome.
and the iRacing. That's when I saw it. I went, yeah, man, it's just cool.
Yeah, and they all get on there. So we started Zoom sessions, and I think we've had 28 races on at once.
Yeah,
right? That's hectic.
Yeah.
Really hectic. And it's got to the point now where somebody takes the lead every time, and sometimes I'll pop on halfway through, and they'll be like, "She's here," and they get all excited. But it was about me drawing back a little bit so that they could continue creating their friendships.
Yeah.
Without me needing to be that full piece to the puzzle all the time.
Yeah.
And, when we started, it was about, let's raise awareness. And I've kind of stepped back from the awareness word a lot recently, because I'm all about inclusion. Let's educate and include people. So there was an email 2 days ago where somebody just wanted advice on how they can actually have a conversation with someone on the spectrum who rocks up to the racetrack all the time.
Right.
You know, so it just varies. The whole Racing with Autism Australia banner went from me going to hang out at some racetracks to like, boom, needing someone in Victoria, needing someone in New South Wales to take the reins. So in all of this, up until like 6 months ago, before I met Adam, I was a single mum that worked a full-time job that, you know, was busy. Yeah. I'm still like a little bit busy. No.
So we can let Rhiannon talk for a second because you just touched on that. You need someone in Victoria. You need someone. So how does Rhiannon fit into all this? You're obviously friends.
Yes. Yeah, we are going on 12, well, we are in our 12th, 13
years of friendship.
Yeah. So I met Jess.
Oh, there we go.
Are you sure?
We're sharing microphones.
There we go. There we go.
You're more important talking than
All right, our classic level of organisation here at the YTG podcast.
You noticed last time we had a knife. Well, that doesn't work this time. So.
Nah. The knife's broken. So 13 years of friendship.
Yeah, so I met Jess, don't do the math, but I met Jess when I was 14.
Are you that old now?
Yeah, I know. When I was 14, you know, in high school, going through all the things you go through as a girl in high school and didn't really know where I wanted to go in life. I think Jess definitely came in at the right time. And I definitely, like, she talks about Austin as an inspiration. She's one of my biggest inspirations. And
have you been there? Have you?
Yeah. So when, quick side note, that's fine. When Jess was in Canada, their first Christmas, Jess had been there for 3 months and missing home a little bit. And so we rallied up. We were like, oh, can we do it? Can we not? I was lucky enough I jumped on a plane and only went for 2 weeks. Everyone convinced me to stay. But I went home, biggest regret still.
Yeah.
So I got to see Austin. I went to school with Austin. Didn't get to see him by the track, unfortunately, because it was winter.
It was winter there, yeah.
Yeah, but just amazing to see, like Jess said before, Austin in day-to-day life that, you know, can't do up buttons, can't do up his shoes, to then since see him in videos on a racetrack touring North America, speaking in front of, you know, thousands of people. It's incredible.
There's actually a documentary too, eh?
Yeah.
Like there's a talking
Talking
about Canada and I throw the A in there. There's a documentary that very much could have gone to Netflix or anything. Like, it's really cool. And Austin's dad was just like, just put it on the website, let everybody watch it.
Yeah.
And that's of our trip. I look really different. Like, I look...
It's super... Smaller. It's like, I feel like it's like Melbourne weather. You feel, watching that documentary, you feel every single emotion. You're happy, you're sad, you're in awe. Like, it's
just like home video style.
It is raw. Absolutely raw, and it's beautiful.
And you see him in his situation as the children can be. How old is he?
I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
He was 15. He had his 16th birthday on that trip. And there's actually, you know, there's footage of him having a meltdown and, you know, him screaming, Jess, you know, like all that.
That's what I'm asking. A lot of people don't, and again, a lot of people don't understand it. And this really is an awareness scenario. And people hear of it, people know it. Not sadly, but it's obviously happening more and more. When I looked at the stats as a parent, when you look at that and you want to ask questions how and why, you look at the stats over the last 20 years, and sadly it's more prevalent now than it was back then. And you're looking and you're searching for answers. So this is an awareness of it. But some people don't know when the child has a meltdown. And again, no two children are the same. No two children are the same. And the extremes that I've witnessed, is it can be quite taken back, and what again people don't understand is the highest divorce rate is of children with either on the spectrum or special needs. People don't understand that.
What's that video called? Where can people find that?
So they can find that on the Racing with Autism website. Yeah. And it's
not the Australian one. Not the Australian website,
so
but
like the American or the overseas.
So it's just www.racingwithautism.com. And it's called Austin Riley's Road to Inspiration.
Awesome.
So
it's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, I haven't watched it for a few months.
I only watched it, I reckon 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Every time has me sobbing.
Yeah. So it's every new family that kind of connects with us with Racing with Autism Australia, I say, look, watch this. You'll understand why we're at this. And so Rhiannon come over and she built a really good bond with Austin, which isn't actually easy to do. So, Austin probably in his lifetime has hugged 5 people, and he's a bit of an over-hugger sometimes to those 5 people, but, Rhiannon became one of those. So when he came to Australia and was there for 8 weeks, Ran was able to take him, and
he came and stayed at my house and
hang out with
took
him
on
and
road
stuff
trips, and it was really cool. I was just thinking about the first time when I came over to Canada and I met him for the first time.
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
Obviously, super emotional. Jess and I had never been, since we'd met, we hadn't been away from each other for that amount of time. Yeah. And I, 17, travelling on my own. It was huge to go over to Canada. And I got there and I was exhausted, and I saw Jess and I just started breaking down straight away. Austin's pushed Jess out of the way and is launched on me and is hugging me. And then Jess gets in and obviously we're having our moment. Yeah. And then Austin goes to Jay, God, she's cute. And it's on video. It is on video, and every single year it pops up. I tag Jess and I'm like, oh.
Then he goes, why are they crying? Like, it's an awesome video.
It's so beautiful.
But when Rhiannon was leaving the airport, Austin and his dad Jason have like them, just the unrealist sense of humour. Like, it's so funny, and they start playing this song. It's sad. It's so sad. It's a sad. Anyway, just super cool people. So, basically, Rhiannon's just been.
I've been there.
She's just been there.
Yeah.
I think that's the key to it. Like, she's just been there. If I've been like, hey, I don't got this all together, because you know what? A lot of the time, I haven't had it all together. Everything's been so just busy. Like, it looks like it's together, and it is together, but it's busy.
I think the thing too is, like Jess said, we started off with the goal of supporting 3 or 4 races, and because we have grown so quickly. It's like, you're playing catch up. It's phenomenal. It's awesome. It is absolutely amazing. It
is awesome.
And I guess too, like what Jess was saying before about raising awareness, it's super important to raise awareness, but we're really now, getting down to our roots and what we actually are about. And it's, having those safe spaces, having inclusivity and educating people about how to include people with autism, because
just how to communicate, how do we actually communicate with somebody on the spectrum? When do we withdraw? When can we approach? All those sort of things. And I probably have about 5, 10, maybe sometimes 20 ideas a day. My brain works extremely fast. I'm always thinking. And I was just sitting there one day, I was like, right, we're at this point with Racing with Autism, like sort of what's next. And that's when I created the pit stop. So the safe,
awesome. That's where we met.
The safe place for people with disabilities. And where we met at Sandown was like nothing as far as setup goes to what we have the ability to do, because I was driving the Maxi Bago then. Like, I was a single mum at that time, and I had a Hyundai iMax so that I could get Jarman's motorbikes, my son's motorbikes, and my go-kart or whatever around in the Racing with Autism stuff. So we put that on the boat and we put in whatever we could, and then that's when we met you, Sean. And that's for Racing with Autism Australia, it's been like massive, like changed everything.
And that almost didn't happen. Because a few days later, Jess was back in Tassie at AgFest, a massive agricultural show down there. And I said to Jess, you need to do Sandown, you have to do Sandown. And the logistics of it was so hard, but I said, you just have to be here. And if I drained my personal bank account to make Sandown. Like, every bank account was pretty much drained to make Sandown happen, because the Spirit cost so much money. Sure. And then we had like a 27-hour turnaround to set up for a 4-day event in Tassie. But it's like, things like that. If it didn't happen, we would have met you. So we were meant to be there.
We were, again, it was just, thanks, AB. Gave us these, we had AAA access everywhere. We were standing blokes. Where you? Oh, sorry, man. Where'd they be? Oh, no, you stay there. We're like, oh, okay, I'm going through some back corridors. Don't know where I was going. And next thing I end up the back. I was like,
hang on a minute.
And I just saw the autism. And obviously, to me, that's close to my heart. So I looked at it and go, what's going on here? And then I was reading and listening, and I'm listening, and I was talking. And then I just went, and something in me, I don't know, there's certain times in my life where something in me just clicks and ticks. And I remember I think I asked who's like the phone or owner or something, and then it was you, and I was like, I asked what it was, and
Yeah,
I said,
someone,
look,
and then it got to me. Yeah.
And I went, okay, what's the deal? And I went, all right, give me your card. No, we're going to do something. In my mind, you know what I'm like, fuck. And I've just gone, no, this is going to happen. Something about this, and I'd spoken to you, and in my heart, I felt, and I went, no.
You know how you introduced yourself to me that day was, hi, I'm Sean, and I have a small car boutique.
Yes.
And you were in my phone, a small car boutique man.
Well, it is small car.
For like quite some time. Yeah.
Oh,
and it
I've
is.
got a small shed.
Yeah,
I call it a small shed.
But that, like, it just stood out to me for ages. And when you rang that day, when you said, I'm like, oh, okay, I got this. I know who this guy is because, so that was...
And that's, but I said to her, I wanted to, And I look at that, and how many times I've been blessed to have, AB's always say, mate, do you want to come to VH? Do you want to go, nah, fucking always busy, and no. And I went, you know what, Sandown. And I remember, look where we took all the fucking photos. In Tickford with JC's car, and we had no connection with, you know what I mean? Like, who was to know a year later we're going to end up sponsoring JC? I mean, it was a very amazing weekend, and I ran, and, it was so, for me it was awesome, and that's why, I just knew we were going to do stuff, and in my heart I said, nah, this is great, and I mean, we've done fuck all compared to what we're going to do and goal we can do now in the future and so on. So, it was quite interesting the way it met. And look, here we are now, and it's just, fuck, that's it. That's enough for me. Now you keep going.
It's super exciting. It's super exciting. And so we have... like Ree's base sort of here, and we go in between, or I'll send her something. She does lots of the social media stuff too, which we're not onto it as much as we would like to be, but we are really good at recognising, right, we all work full-time jobs, we all have all this other stuff, but we still make this tick over, everybody still is connected, all those sorts of things. So we have one of the races' dads in New South Wales, David, who's just taken the reins there, and Daniel was one of the original kids, and he's just a little legend, and they contacted me before I even come home from Canada the very first time. So they've literally followed my personal story for years. And then we've got races literally everywhere, and they do so many things, and on weekends when we can in Tassie, we're at a racetrack. The first 2 years I probably didn't fill my own cup enough. And then, Adam got me back in a go-kart and stuff this year, and he races. So the Racing with Autism kids that race at the tracks we are, they're always at our trailer. They're always with us. They're always hanging around. Adam spends like 5 hours a week with one of the Racing with Autism kids, and awesome. It's all combined. And but then the Queenslanders, they all meet up. They've all got to the point where they don't need Jess to organise something. They communicate. Big Ben, I call him Big Ben because we've got two Bens. He races supercarts, and he hasn't raced so much because he actually was diagnosed with lymphoma, and he was really unwell there for a bit, and he's all good now, and. But he will rock up at any of the other kids' races and just be there. He's a supported racer himself, but he's just there, So it's actually created this whole family, and it's just I call it like it was my little project that's actually created something that is, find me something else that has the same sort of connection that these people have. Maddox and Jaden, who we brought to the Cars and Caviar night, they talk all the time now. They, and these are kids, young adults, teenagers who don't actually have the greatest group of friends. They've grown up in those, been on the outer and all those sort of situations, and
especially if they're in normal schools. And again, this is what it's about, and this is not going to be the last time you get. Hopefully, we can get you on when we can, when you're in Melbourne, and you're here now. Obviously, Ree, so we're going to do some stuff together in the future and so on. But again, it's just that constant, just rejigging what people don't realise or don't know. There's so much behind that they don't see, and it's. That's where people need to just stop and understand it's not just that, it's everything around it that's so taxing, tiring, soul destroying, but yet can be so enriching and so liberating when you see the progress. And that's again, not to talk about me. I'm talking as a parent that has a child on the spectrum, and how important what these amazing women are doing. I just cannot keep pitching it. You have to fucking get behind this. You have to, because it's grassroots, and grassroots is where it starts and where it grows the right way. So again, at the end of this podcast, you're going to put all the details of the site so everyone can go there. You've never heard me pitch about anything. I don't even fucking talk about my cars. And I've got millions of dollars sitting here for cars for sale. We don't even talk about it. But it's the first time I'm ever going to pitch this, because it's close, not just to me, but to a lot of people that may not be directly, but indirectly they are. There could be families that have people, kids, children, and it's getting diagnosed now with a lot of adults later on. I mean, I'm not fucking normal. I mean, I sometimes wonder, you know what I mean? And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, people know me, I'm not normal. But in saying that, I mean, it's just, you look at that. And again, not to talk about, but I'm just trying to reconfirm with everyone, what this is about, not just for the awareness, what these amazing women are doing, but what the charity does, and I see that at my daughter's school when other people don't understand or they're not sure, and that's only because they don't know. But, it's not your role or job, but you should make yourself aware of really the other side of it. That's all I'm saying. And again, I'm sorry, I'll shut up, please. Back to you.
No, you're fine. It's good. Yeah, I just think... we're at Simmons Plains for the supercars in Tassie in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, grouse.
And we did that last year too. And we sold like $1,800 worth of T-shirts and merch and stuff like that. And that was really eye-opening. That was really cool down there. So we're down there, and there's heaps of sort of things happening. Last week, one of our motocross racers, Corey, he is like the original. He is the original Racing With Autism Australia kid. So his family, when I moved back from Canada and I just needed that like settling period, they own a takeaway shop, and they gave me a job for a few weeks, because then I went straight back into the autism world. But I remember hanging out with Corey in the back of that shop when he was like 7, and he's playing with his cars and things. And so Corey was non-verbal for years. All the specialists and stuff, his dad raced for a long time, and they were talking about putting him on a motorbike, and the specialist like, no way, like that is dangerous.
That one with the kid on the motorbike.
Yeah, and then we did the news story, and they
that's right, the news story which you're on.
Yeah, they contacted me on the Sunday, and they were doing the video and stuff like an hour and a half from my work. Like I just couldn't fully pull it all off that day, and they're like, oh, you can do Zoom though. So I'm sitting in my office at work. Yeah, awesome. I blurred the background out, and so it just even to see that for him was so cool. And then just the impact it makes on not just the supported races, but I can sit at work, or quite often we'll go places, and the day after that news story, one of the participants from the place, my real job I call it, knocked on the door. You're on the news last night. Yeah, mate, tell me more. He sat down for like half an hour, and he wouldn't talk to me before that. Now I can't get him out of my office now. So just little things like that are awesome. Like super cool. But awesome. There's always something happening. There's always conversations. There's always new connections with families, and the amount of conversations that I've actually had with families who are like, well, we're actually not interested in racing, Jess, but we've been told just to chat to you, and so I'll chat to them on the phone for an hour or whatever it is. It's just being there, just so that people know that they're heard and they're understood.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. It's okay. It is the Racing With Autism, but hang on, it's actually a safe haven for children or situations.
Absolutely.
Hey, hang on. Okay, we just happen to be focused on racing, but it's again, this is where some people know, some people don't. Children that are on the spectrum, they have a beautiful gift where they have something they might sort of go more towards, whether it be racing or my daughter, it's karate and dancing, she's going to kick the shit out of these fuck. I feel sorry for the fucking but in saying like that, that's what a harness, and that's we allow them and let them nurture, and then they just flourish. And some children it's music, a lot of them it's music and so on, or maths and you know, they may not be able to do up their laces, but they're world class when it comes to certain something else. And that's what, again, people don't understand. We're still learning every fucking day.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like you said, and that's like when you were saying with yours help, like, he couldn't do it, but yet he just goes out and fucking smokes them.
Yeah, and I think too, it's just once somebody on the spectrum finds their thing in life, you got to run with it. You know, Austin's family is like clear example of all of that, and so many of the Racing with Autism Australia families too, because you know they will remortgage, they will get more, they will do whatever it takes to make sure that their child, their whoever in their life can do that. And you know, I guess one of the biggest things for like our supported racers and their families too is they've never come and said we need thousands of dollars from Racing with Autism Australia to keep racing. It's never been what it's been about. It's been about us being able to provide them opportunities. So if we can take 4 of our Racing with Autism supported racers to Symmons Plains for the weekend to be there to sign autographs on their posters, or just to, you know, to be the person that they are, to be that someone that they are, and have people actually stop and say, oh, hey, that's cool. Is that your go-kart, or is that your race car? Or, you know, that is what it's about. It's and all the families that are involved are 100% behind us in that. You know, there's no way we could have 47 supported races and give them all, you know, whatever it is. And, you know, there's... some of them, and they know, they'll come to me and they'll say, hey, Jess, I've got a race coming up and it's like $90 entry fee. Yeah, sure. We can make that work. There's sometimes I've said, you know what, guys, personally, like, you know, in the early days, even, you know, up until not that long ago, it was like, hey, okay, we'll find a way to make this work. You know, I'll write you a sponsorship proposal, or we'll piece something together. It's never been about financials. It's never been about that. It's been about creating a community, a network, a support system that helps these people. That's what it's been about. And, you know, for Maddox, look at the connections for him. So, you know, he's... Maddox is... he's extraordinary. He's just a champion.
That's the one, Alex. You met him last time. We got him on the podcast with Courtney. And he's one of our sponsored drivers now. So we're going to get behind him, and he's an absolute. It's just amazing.
Good
family.
He's
honestly just the beautiful people, as they all are. Because you know, one thing that fucking teaches you when you have a child or you have a family member that's has special need, it fucking humbles you. It fucking brings you back to reality of how life is, and that's one thing, you know, you just don't settle for, you just see the bullshit for what it is, because you see the pureness of what, and you're just trying to focus on that. And again, it's the bringing the awareness of people to understand that there's so much complexity to it, and that they have to be probably a bit more sympathetic, or the awareness, and understand that. And the one thing I've noticed, again, when you sometimes when you've met other families with the children on different special needs, they're the ones who keep throwing back in. That's what I've noticed. It's very rare from the outside. Sadly, I mean, and you know, whatever, they're not affected as much because they sit on their side and they feel, but it's actually the ones within it that just constantly keep reinvesting. And that's, again, the whole awareness of the outside helping of those things. And sadly, unfortunately, it is money. We need money to order to help these children or help these facilities of what we're trying to do. And that's why for us, we're just trying to make as much awareness of what we can to allow you guys just to keep fucking flourishing and just keep fucking growing. That's what it's about, really. So they can keep helping. And then growing your loyal people to help it. Like you said, we're in Melbourne, we're in Sydney,
New South Wales. Oh, like we have sort of that core person in pretty much every state. And there are people that if I rang and said, hey, like I need you to do this or whatever. And
can we make a note of them in the thing, brother? Can you somehow, like, you know, I don't know, when, again, don't understand all this shit how it works, but at the end put like their details, so like your details, so people want to contact, because there might be a lot of people that didn't know now until we've mentioned it now. So we can keep allowing the winners so they can contact you or contact the people that you have in the various things.
And it's not something that we've kind of, spoken
Am I wrong
about
in saying that? I'm sorry, am I wrong in saying that?
No, it's all good, because, my two real core people that aren't in Tassie are Ree here and David in New South Wales. But if something had to be done in Queensland, I have like 5 numbers I can call and say, hey, I need this. So there is, the best 2 people to get direct answers from like relatively quickly now are the 2 of us and Adam. So, and a lot of the background stuff. So, sending merch, packing merch, all that sort of stuff. I haven't done any of that. A whole box of stuff needed to go to New South Wales the other day. Completely forgot about it. I got home, Adam had it packed and shipped. I'm like, hey, don't forget, we need to do that. And he just held up the receipt.
Where are you getting all the stuff printed now? In Tassie or in Melbourne?
I couldn't even tell you where they're from. All Star Graphics, I think they're called. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, I was going to say,
yeah.
And anyone wants to get involved, fucking blatantly putting it out there, just contact us. Printing, we got stuff that we're doing, and if you can help in any way, contact us. It's simple as that.
So basically the idea is we've got must have been like 2 years ago now, I built this little trailer.
Yeah, that's what we're discussing
that was something that I built, so it was like multi-purpose, I can rock up
to it was like a MacGyver, it was like a Swiss Army trailer. But a knife, a trailer,
it's cool.
grouse.
Yeah, so it's like I can take my cart in and I can go racing, or it's got like a side window, so it's like a merchandise shop for Racing With Autism. Like it's a cute little trailer, but the plan is we're going to bring that over here. We're going to park it here at YTG.
Melbourne will be a base for, or here, YTG, Shed's a base for RWAA, I guess, as a base in a sense. I mean, if anyone ever needed to, you got the facility here, you can use to meet people, and as we grow and as more corporate, I know in my heart, more corporate is going to get behind you to help you grow and grow. I mean, you're going to need a place to, this is like your flag in Melbourne here, which you can use. So, yeah. Yeah,
so the plan is to have our set up here so that we can, Ree can pick it up and go if she needs to, or
we'll
for supercar events and all that sort of stuff. We can jump on the plane, hook up, and drive to Sydney Motorsport Park for supercars, whatever. So it's just being in Tassie really hasn't. I haven't let that be a barrier. I've tried really hard not to let that be a barrier, but it can be, because you've got to get over that water. My anxiety was through the roof because I wasn't going to be right here at 7:30, and the plane got delayed, and Adam's like, you're stressing about not being there.
Who else was it be? Yeah, who loses my fucking... Yeah. No, actually, no, it wasn't them, sorry. Okay, thank you, I didn't say anything. Anyway, so but they got here, which is the main thing.
Yeah, we got here. And we got a hire car, and they said they were giving us an upgrade. I think they downgraded us, but that's cool, that's fine. It's never been a barrier to get over here, but it'll just make things heaps easier, I guess, and it has to come down to the point where, and I am learning, I'm getting heaps better at it, I don't actually have to be there all the time, and I physically can't. It actually burnt me out quite a bit. Yeah. For a period of time there. And, my son is 4, he'll be 5 in August, and he is like full on. And he wants to race. He wants to do all that stuff too. Yeah. So, I need to make sure that, I'm there for him, and that, he gets to do all that fun stuff as well. So it's been about me learning to delegate. Yeah. And
that's the thing you're lucky with. You're getting the right people, and you've got who've got the same vision and passion and want to grow it
100%
the same way, which you're blessed. That's important.
Yeah. And I'm an operations manager that is, I manage almost 180 staff and 140 participants, 140 people with disabilities. So I'm the operations manager in my real job.
You're just an operator, mate.
Yeah.
I see you are. Not just an operator, you're just an operator.
So all the sort of day-to-day stuff, Adam picks up heaps of that. Ree does heaps of it here. It just works, just flows. It goes around, where I'm really lucky because, I was living in like this little 2-bedroom cottage with my son, and the lounge room was like full of all this Racing with Autism stuff, you know. So things have progressed. Things have definitely got better, and the future is awesome. Like, it's so exciting about the potential of what we can do. You know, I have this massive dream of doing this big road trip and, you know, meeting all the races and going to the schools that they went to and sharing the story and all that sort of stuff. And there's been times where I've definitely had to go, okay, you're getting too excited, Jess. You know, look at what's in front of you next. Look at what's in front of all of us next. When is that possible? When's that all going to happen? So...
Yeah, we said that, didn't you? You want to come over to some of the schools. And we were actually going to try and talk to our daughter's school as well. And so, again, if anyone who happens to be watching the podcast out of the 27 people that watch us, you may have an affiliation with the school. And if you feel touched or felt something here, we, again, would love you to contact us, because they'll put together something which will be really fantastic and beneficial for the students, the teachers and the parents and the awareness in the classroom, and they can come and get together. But contact us, contact the girls, and that's something that we're going to try and do in Melbourne, I guess.
And it's going to happen.
From there.
It's going to come together.
It is going to happen 100%. All it takes is one person, and that one person could be watching today or watching maybe 27 people. So, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Go.
All right. Well, we've just hit an hour. So it's probably a good point to wrap up on, I think.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to quickly touch on or cover before
I think we could talk for hours. I just...
Not last time, so we're going to get you on.
Yeah, absolutely. And we appreciate your passion, Sean. Like, we just... And it's not, but you're good for me. Like, you boost my morale, you boost my passion, and it's exciting. And this all worked out so well. So I said to you last week, I don't know if I can make it over with work and things like that. Ree will definitely be here though. And then, you know, me and Adam were talking. Then I spoke to Maddox's mum, and she's like, it's his last race in juniors. I'm like, hey, let's go. Yeah. So
you make it work.
You make it work. And I think I've spent so much of my life, especially coming back from Canada, and I've just actually had to make it work. So that's what we keep doing. But appreciate it, love it. These are cool, actually.
I know.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, sweet.
I know. I always forgot it was there for a minute. Like, oh, hello.
Awesome.
Austin used to say all the time, maybe this is a good way to finish, he would like have an interview or something, and he'd look at me and be like, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
He would always quote something off Anchorman, like, it's Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady. Yeah, he would do it every interview. So
that was Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Remember his interview?
That's
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome.
Sweet.
I'm so grateful you were here, so be able to come on. We're looking forward to doing a lot of good stuff with you guys and some really good things. So please check out the stuff that Nico will put on there. And please, if you feel there's any way you can benefit, it's not just about money, but if you might have a service or something we can add value, we can do stuff to make things a lot easier for a lot of people out there, please. Just, you may not think it, but you might, just the smallest things can make the difference in so many people's lives. So please, really, we're going to push this. There's something you'll see me push. I'm not even fucking pushing my cars. I'm pushing this, so please, it's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for flying over.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, that's just been fun.
Yeah.
This has been great.
Awesome.
Saturday, Maddox kicking ass.
Yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't know we're here.
Yeah, I know, it's awesome.
Yeah. And so he races junior Formula 500s, and Adam races like 500s, the senior one.
Yeah.
So just like that mentorship and stuff that Adam can provide to him, it'll just be wicked. He's got no idea. So we're going to be in his garage tomorrow. He's going to open the door. It's going to be like, surprise. So yeah,
awesome.
it's really cool. Yeah, it'd be wicked if you can make it.
Yeah, good.
Be very cool.
All right, I'll get some details from you after this, and then in the description of the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, will be details there. So you can find that on all of the platforms. Just scroll down. I'll have all the information there. Yep. I'll also do some posting on our Facebook, Instagram, etc., with the same details. So if you want them, they will be there for you to find.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll wrap it. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all in a week/5 minutes time.